Straight ahead on 12 News, a possible new training destination for high school athletes. What could be added to the Plymouth Ice Center? Then, have a college student?
I feel like my wallet's broken.
There are now more options to get over textbook sticker shock. But first,
It's sort of bittersweet. We've been really happy to be in Minnesota.
a major company closure in Plymouth, what it means for workers and the city. 12 News starts right now. Plymouth is losing a key employer.
German company Ottobock is moving its North American headquarters, taking a couple hundred jobs out of the local economy. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us what this means for the area.
Ottobock is the world's largest prosthetic manufacturer. They make more than 50,000 types of prosthetic devices. The company also distributes products like wheel blades. But now the company is sliding out of town.
This physical office will be gone.
About 200 employees were told last week about the company's plan to relocate.
It's sort of bittersweet. We've been really happy to be in Minnesota. It's a great state. We've grown here for about 55 years.
Workers were given the option of moving to Utah or Texas.
A couple hundred people are involved, and so we're being very careful about how we're managing the whole process.
Ottobock says it's making the change to become more efficient. The fabrication and manufacturing departments would work in the same building. Currently, the fabrication is done at its Plymouth facility.
What it allows us to do is really close the loop, so the people who create the products are also able to see how people are using the products in real life.
This is not some cataclysmic thing.
Professor George John with the Carlson School of Management doesn't think the move will have a lasting impact on Plymouth.
There's always short-term pain, but the key thing for the city is to understand they're part of a bigger Twin Cities metro area, and if the whole area is healthy, the city will be healthy. These things are never good, but this is normal. I mean, companies come, companies go.
Now, Ottobock says the changes won't happen right away. The company wants to give employees time enough to weigh their option. Meanwhile, Shannon and Mike, they're expanding their Utah location, and they're going to add about like 80 jobs, and they're also getting a $390,000 tax credit, so plenty of incentives here.
All right. Thank you.
Sonia. A Brooklyn Park man faces federal charges for December bank robbery. A grand jury indicted 23-year-old Therese Baugh with a bank robbery and brandishing a firearm. He was arrested in Blaine after he and two others abandoned a non-working getaway vehicle. According to the criminal complaint, Baugh admitted jumping over the teller counter of a TCF branch near Northtown Mall and ordering employees on the ground. The complaint says Baugh fled to a nearby Arby's and hid in the bathroom where he was arrested. Two others escaped. The FBI says they are still at large.
A Minneapolis man convicted of striking two Army recruiters in a hit-and-run last fall in Roseville learned his punishment today. One of those recruiters was a Brooklyn Center man. Today, a judge sentenced Enrico Taylor to more than 15 years in prison. Authorities say Taylor didn't stop because he wasn't legally allowed to drive. According to the criminal complaint, Taylor hit Staff Sergeant Travis Torgerson and dragged him underneath his SUV for nearly a mile. Torgerson suffered severe injuries. Staff Sergeant Michael Stroud of Brooklyn Center was also hit but suffered minor injuries. Taylor has an extensive criminal history and has already served 3 prison sentences.
Governor Mark Dayton has announced a nearly $1 billion bonding bill. Among the projects he wants funded, in addition to the National Guard Armory in Brooklyn Park. The governor is asking for a $1.2 million for the project. The National Guard is also asking the federal government for an additional $9.4 million. A $25,000 square foot addition would allow more classroom and office space and bring the building up to code. If the state and federal funding comes through, construction could begin in 2015.
According to real estate experts, we're moving into a more stable housing market. The reason? Fewer distressed properties. In fact, home prices reached a 5-year high because of fewer bargain-priced foreclosures. Locally, Maple Grove home prices rose to $233,000, a 6% increase. In Golden Valley, prices rose to $246,000. That's a 13% increase. And in Brooklyn Center, which had a glut of distressed properties, prices jumped 28% to $122,000. Twin Cities' median sales price was $192,000.
The Plymouth Ice Center could soon have a new addition for athletic training. A proposed project calls for building a $1 million, 7,000 square foot addition to the back of the Plymouth Ice Center. The new facility would be leased by Acceleration Minnesota Northwest, a sports training business. The project would be a public-private partnership. The Wayzata Youth Hockey Association would contribute $400,000 to the project. Plymouth would eventually be paid back for its share of the cost through the lease agreement with the training business. That yearly revenue would also help pay for operations at the Ice Center.
we need to be smart about how we're going to look going forward to make sure we're going to be able to sustain our operations. So bringing this relationship in, the public-private, allows us to generate additional revenue for the facility and ensure its long-term success.
If the Plymouth Council gives final approval, the training facility could be up and running by December. Still ahead, a small project that's a big help to firefighters.
And then later in sports, Maple Grove looks to knock off conference leader Blaine in girls hockey.
But first, a rather warm start to Thursday before it turns cold on Friday. If your pet isn't spayed or neutered yet, this may be the time to do it.
The Animal Humane Society's Kindest Cut program is offering a special promotion this month and next. In January, people of any income level can get their male dogs or cats neutered for just $20. In February, female cats can be spayed also for just $20. Kindest Cut does about 800 to 1,000 of these surgeries every month in their mobile trucks and at their new facility in Golden Valley. With this promotion, the clinic is hoping to do several hundred more.
So it's a really good time to bring them in so that we're not having all those puppies and kittens born in the spring and the summer that there just isn't enough homes for.
And not only does it solve the unwanted litter problem, veterinarians say pets who are spayed or neutered have fewer health problems. The procedure takes only a few minutes and the animals are ready to go home by the end of the day. And if you're interested, you can call the number on the screen there or visit kindestcutmn.com. You must mention the Blitz promotion to get the discount. Well, they're easy to overlook, but you definitely don't want them out of sight when there's a fire.
That's right. 12 News photojournalist Neil Persley joins Northwest Metro Fire to show us why it's so vital to keep fire hydrants clear of snow and ice.
When a fire truck rolls up at a house fire, they do carry a certain amount of water on the truck.
We have about 500 gallons of water on the truck. You know, that water can go pretty quick, so the faster you can hook to a hydrant, the quicker they'll have more water.
Firefighters say those first few moments are critical in saving property. If they can't hook up to a fire hydrant right away, losses go up.
We definitely rely on the community to dig out the hydrants for us.
West Metro Fire demonstrated how long it takes to dig out a hydrant. They're fast, but even a minute or two can make a difference when time is crucial.
To have a house flash over where everything fully ignites, it's within about 3 minutes and 30 seconds now.
So how much room should be cleared?
I'd say clearances are anywhere from 3 to 5 feet all the way around the hydrant. So 3 to 5 feet. All the way around, because you got to be able to open up the hydrant, you got to be able to get all the way around it. So 3 to 5. You got to consider we'll have equipment on, gear on, and tools. So having that clearance all the way around the hydrant is pretty big.
Right after a fresh snowfall like we've just had and the plows have come around is a good time to check and see if there's a clear path to your hydrants.
Normally hooking up to a hydrant could be about a minute.
What about this hydrant?
Obviously significantly longer, easily a couple minutes just to dig it out.
All the while, your house is burning down. If you're physically unable to clear passage to a hydrant that you see is blocked, make a call to City Hall.
If residents end up seeing a hydrant that ends up getting buried by a plow, you can just go ahead and call their public works, and then they'll end up having somebody from the street department. When they're able, they'll end up clearing it out. Crystal New Hope is really good about it. We have a really good working relationship with all of them, and they do their best that they can.
In New Hope, Neil Persley, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Neil. Coming up, something to consider when buying textbooks for college.
But first in sports, Champlin Park and Park Center meet up in girls and boys basketball. John Jacobson, the highlights coming up next. John Jacobson with sports now, and a pretty good challenge for the Maple Grove girls hockey team, which they are a good team as well.
They withstood the challenge, and a big win for them as they come toward the end of the regular season. Maple Grove's girls hockey team is putting together a very solid season. The Crimson look to edge closer to the top of the Northwest Suburban Conference when they took the ice to face conference leader Blaine at Fogarty Arena. In the first period, Crimson goalie Coco Francis makes a big save on Kirsten Falk in the slot, stays with it and stops the wraparound attempt by Amy Schlegel and keeps the game scoreless. At the other end, Taylor Wente controls the loose puck and fires, but Michaela Tilton makes the stop for the Bengals. And it's 0-0 through the first period. Early in the second period, Riley Norman dumps it behind the Blaine net. Summer Thibodeau gets control. It's taken away, but Wente swoops in to steal it and score. And Maple Grove takes a 1-0 lead. Blaine answers. Samantha Swanstrom gets possession and puts the puck in front. Number 2, Brianna Mahoney knocks the loose puck in from the scramble. And the game's tied 1-1 after 2 periods. Late in the third, and here's the game winner. Wente's shot is blocked, but Sydney Sanford fires. Abby Larson gets a deflection goal. Maple Grove wins at 2-1 to improve to 8-2-2 in the conference, 3 points behind Blaine. In the Lake Conference, top-ranked Hopkins downs 4th-ranked Wayzata 3-2. All of the Royals' goals came in the first period. Corbin Boyd and Nina Rogers each had a goal and an assist for Hopkins, which avenged its only loss of the season. Park Center's boys basketball team had a great season last winter, winning the Northwest Suburban Conference title. Their neighbors at the northern end of Brooklyn Park lead the league this winter. Champlin Park visiting Park Center for this one. The Pirates work the ball inside. Isaac Matthews, his basket gives PC a quick 10-0 lead on Champlin Park. But the Rebels get going. Marty Hill nails a baseline 3-pointer. Matthews answers with a nice spin move and bank shot for the Pirates. But then the Rebels start to roll late in the first half. JT Gibson penetrates, kicks it out to Alex Hilly for a 3. And Champlin Park leads 44-25 at halftime. Second half, Park Center gets the rebound, but McKinley Wright steals it and sets up Brennan Witt for an easy 2. Ian Smith gets a steal and glides in for a layup and a 61-41 Rebels lead. Freshman Wright drives and hits a tough shot for Champlin Park, and the Rebels go on to win big, 77-57. In girls basketball, Park Center is looking to keep pace with Centennial in the race for first place in the Northwest Suburban. The Pirates visiting crosstown rival Champlin Park Tuesday night. Rebels work the ball inside to Hannah Cribble, who gets behind her defender to score, and it's 6-2 Rebels. But then the Pirates go on a 9-0 run. Danielle Schaub knocks down a 3-pointer as Park Center takes the lead. Later, Schaub rebounds a Rebels missed shot, and she'll get the Pirates running. You'll hit Michaela Hayes for the running layup, plus a foul, and the Pirates' lead grows to 10 points. McKenna Dubois takes a pass from Hannah Schaub and drains a 3. Park Center leads by 11 at halftime. Early second half of play, and the Rebels go to Crimble early and often. She'll score off the pass here, and then a couple of trips down the floor and later. Makes a nice spin move off the pass from Kelly Heitens. The Rebels are within 1 point. Crimble scores 22 on the night. But the Pirates never give up the lead. Hannah Schaub to Dubois for a 3. The junior scores 15 points in the game. Park Center's top scorer for the season, Kayla McMorris, didn't score at all in the first half, but she nets 15 in the second half, and Park Center wins a big road win over Champlin Park, 61-47.
It was very important. Champlin's a good team. They've had a couple of close wins and losses to teams that we've beaten. This just helps us get closer to what we want to pursue at the end of the season.
In North Suburban Conference girls basketball, Cooper hosting Totino-Grace. The Eagles in white. Gabby Eisfelder hits a 3. She scores 7 of Grace's first 12 points, and the Eagles are up 6 from the corner. Then it's Margaret Anderson knocking down another 3. Grace leads 20-8, and they lead by 9 at the half. Second half, and Cooper gets moving. In transition, Lori Bowler ahead to Tori Green for the basket and foul, and that pulls the Hawks to within 5. A few minutes later, it's Cooper's sophomore, Yu Longs, hitting a 3, and that one gives Cooper the lead. This game is back and forth down the stretch with Cooper coming out on top. Green with another basket late as Cooper wins 56-51. The Hawks are 2-0 in conference play. Finally, a Plymouth native is in the running for college hockey's top individual award. Former Wayzata High School star Tony Cameronese is one in the first group of 70 nominated for the Hobie Baker Award. The UMD sophomore is coming off a strong freshman season that saw him tie for the Bulldogs scoring lead. He has 2 goals and 8 assists so far this winter. Cameronese was a 5th-round pick by the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 2011 NHL entry draft. And that's a look at sports for today.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you.
John.
Still ahead, one of the more expensive parts of going to college, buying textbooks.
Up next in Money Savers, we sort through the different options, including whether e-textbooks are the best deal out there.
It is back to school for college students this week.
And there's good news concerning the cost of those expensive college textbooks. There are now more options than ever before to comparison shop. But in this case, the cheapest option might not always be the best one.
We are busy. It's the third day of classes.
In the busy, bustling hive that is the bookstore at North Hennepin Community College on Back to School Week,
Oh man, I feel like my wallet's broken.
students just wait to see what this semester's textbook sticker shock will be.
This semester it was $424 for 4 books.
They might spend $700 in one fell swoop.
Here's your book for your philosophy class.
Wanda Martin is a student on the front lines.
I am a book puller. I pull the books for all the students.
But instead of just paying for books here,
Some of the prices are very costly.
students now have more choices than ever before.
E-textbooks have definitely changed the name of the game. They have made college bookstores have to work harder because there are more options for students. There are more formats.
E-textbooks are now available at much lower prices at a variety of online websites, even Amazon.com.
Always explore your options, and nowadays, of course, e-readers are an option. You can buy textbooks electronically.
I got one.
But just because e-textbooks are cheaper doesn't mean they are for everyone.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned. I like the actual tangible book that I can kind of highlight through rather than print off 50 pages.
None of my classes have required them so far.
It's not for me at all. Yeah, I need hands-on because with the e-reader, you have to buy software. On top of that, you got to have an electronic to have the e-reader.
There's 20, 35, and 50.
Also with e-textbooks, you lose the buyback option.
They come to the table, the value of their books are determined, and they get cash on the spot.
Where students can sometimes recoup part of their expenses.
$25. Yeah, so I was okay with that.
Students say they shop around, finding the format that works best for them. Sometimes finding the best deal is when they buy directly from each other.
I know students can save money and students can earn money back directly from their peers too that way.
Instructors and professors are the ones responsible for choosing the textbook they teach, but the bookstore at North Hennepin says they do work with teachers to let them know the different formats available for each text. So, Mike, I think that's just one of those things too. You just have to bite the bullet. You got to pay for it. It's
Or
part
share.
of the deal.
I know
That's a
you
good
can hand
idea
a book
too.
down until it gets out
There
of
you go.
date.
You've got a little experience
Yeah,
there with
right.
these college
That's
textbooks.
right.
That's all the news we have for now, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Community Corner's up next. See you tomorrow.